I am Darius, the Sugarless Crystals, your sugar-free destination of YouTube. Enjoy me. I'm guilt-free. Indulge. So we have Keto Biscuits. Low-carb biscuits, gluten-free biscuits, however you want to put it. Now something is very, very interesting about this. When I went to go find this recipe, I started to only do 2. Because you know, I have 2 myself. But something I noticed was a trend, a huge trend. Everyone used cheese in their biscuits. And I'm going to get to that. Now, I have 2 keto biscuits myself. The regular version, and then I have a Red Lobster copycat. Now, the regular version, I don't really care for those. I made those and I've never looked back. Like, I've never made them again. I probably should go revisit them, because I've been revising recipes because I want to get an update. So I'm working on a cookbook for baking. I wanted to revise some recipes to see if I really had like that touch I thought I had, and boy did I have it. But anyway, so I'm doing a keto cookbook at the moment. I'll talk more about it when it gets here. I already have a name and everything, but I just know I have a cookbook on the way. I know a lot of people were talking about, you know, maybe you should do one, but I guess I had to do one when I was ready and when I felt like I could do it. Because a cookbook scared me really, really bad. I don't know why. It just, something about it scared me. Something about releasing something that I could no longer edit again. But anyway, my keto biscuit recipe, like, I didn't care for it. Like, I didn't think it was nasty, but it wasn't good to me. Like, I don't like plain recipes that much. I don't know, it didn't work for me well. Now the Red Lobster one I loved. Like, I've made that 3 or 4 times. Like, I really enjoy it. And then stuffing them with cheese, they're very good. Soaking them down in garlic butter, yeah, they definitely get the job done. The texture, I would probably want to be better. The taste wise, the taste just trumps the texture, like, hands down. I really did a great job with those. So even though I can probably make them better, I just feel like I shouldn't even touch them. So moving on to everyone else's, I've already talked about mine. We have Step Away from the Carbs, Nom Nom, what? And Weary Chef. Now 2 of these have cheese in them. Nom Noms doesn't. I feel like the cheese is to mask like the main flavors, because everyone loves cheese. So if you taste cheddar in something, like, it's gonna make it better. I don't know. It's kind of like having a hamburger. If your hamburger is really good, you shouldn't have to have any condiments on it for it to taste great. And that's being a cheeseburger connoisseur myself. That's what I learned. Like, the greatest hamburgers, just the base of it just tastes amazing. So let's move on. We're gonna go from, let's go from left to right. Oh, I don't have Sasha. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm back. I had already started to feel like the tension in my throat. We're gonna go from left to right. So the Weary Chef. Now, looking at these, you can see like they have, it's kind of spongy, not too much. Like, it does have a little weight to it. But looking at the bottom, I can tell how the egg kind of soaked to the bottom a little bit. The egg kind of really took over the biscuit itself. But I mean, I guess as long as it tastes good. This one from Weary Chef, 1½ cup of almond flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 eggs, 1/3 cup of sour cream, 4 tablespoons of butter melted, 1/3 cup of cheese, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. And you know, flavoring your biscuits, like, it's okay, it's cool, like, because I understand that's probably why I don't like my plain biscuit, because it lacks flavor to me. And I mean, even in a regular biscuit, you know, we top butter on it. But let me taste it and go. Ooh, dealing with bread, this stuff is dry. So there is a hint of garlic in it. Like, you know, the garlic doesn't overpower the biscuit. And you do get the cheese flavor, like, it works. It masks the almond flour taste. These are all right. I'm not gonna give anything bad about them. They have just enough almond flour in here to give it a texture. Like, it's a soft texture. I guess you can, I don't know if you want to say they're like fluffy, but they're not flat. Like, they do have a little fluff to them. I wouldn't say cake-like. It's definitely more so of a biscuit texture. And it's not like, you don't get the graininess typical of almond flour. And I'm guessing some of that sour cream definitely helped. But these weren't bad. Somebody new? No. No, you're probably not gonna like them. You're probably gonna taste it and be like, I don't know how I feel about this. But for somebody that's been doing it for a while, or been away from the standard flour, yeah, this one's, it'll get the job done. Moving on to the second one by Nom Nom. Like I said, when it comes to baking, I love Nom Nom. Like, she might be the queen of keto baking. If you guys know any other like amazing bakers, please put them in the comment section so I can check the stuff out. I can put them on one of the verses. We have 168 grams of organic grass-fed butter, 2 eggs, 230 grams of sour cream, 3 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 192 grams of almond flour, 125 grams of golden flaxseed meal, 42 grams of coconut flour, 30 grams of whey protein isolate, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 2 teaspoons xanthan gum, and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now this recipe, it was a lot. Like, not only do you have a lot of ingredients, but it was a lot to make it. Like, it wasn't hard in the sense of preparing, I guess you could say, but it's not for the faint-hearted. Like, you had to roll, you had to grind the butter up. Like, you had to shred the butter, then you had to like roll it up and then cut it into pieces, and you know, the freezing involved in the process of making it cold, and then you could finally bake it. Now, I didn't do all of that. I did the majority of it, but what I didn't do was I didn't cut it using a cutter, like a cookie cutter or a pastry cutter like she said do. I just rolled it out. Like, I was just like, look, I'm not trying to make this look pretty, I'm ready to eat. But in the pictures you can see, like, the way she did it, it puffs up and becomes like super, like, it puffs up and becomes flaky, supposedly. And she also uses grams. Like, overseas they do use grams because it's far more accurate than using cups. But the only thing about using grams is, I mean, what if the person doesn't have a scale? And so it's not practical for everyone, I guess you could say. So that's why in my recipe, since I'm in America, I use cups for everything. I wish I did use grams though. I mean, that'd be dope. Like, to have it, I know everyone's recipe will be exact, because like when it comes to almond flour, the way it clumps up and stuff like that, you may go past a half a cup, you know what I'm saying? But grams, you're always gonna be right. The thing about flaxseed meal is that it just overpowers everything. So I don't care what you put it in, like, it's gonna stand out. Flaxseed meal and psyllium husk, like, those two things, and I see the benefits for them, but I'm so like, they altered the recipe so bad. Like, I want to do some rolls, dinner rolls, breads, but I have to figure out how to use these things, because definitely flaxseed and psyllium husk, I feel like they're gonna give it a great taste. But the thing is, the taste is very grainy. It's not, it reminds you, I guess you could say, like, grainy in the sense of maybe wheat bread. It definitely not, like, as far as like regular white bread or whatever, or flour bread and rich flour bread, nothing comes close to that. But like, it's very grainy like wheat bread, but it's not wheat. You know what I'm saying? So it tastes like what it is. They're very buttery. Definitely, she used plenty of butter in it. Like, you get the butter all day long. The texture is actually very interesting. It's very soft, and it looks like bread. To be honest, I like these because the butter comes through great. And I don't have an issue with flaxseed meal or anything. I just don't eat flaxseed meal because it's estrogenic. And me being a man, like, my testosterone is everything to me. But I'm sure, like, those of you that have been around for a while, You've all heard me say that. Like, I'm so serious about my testosterone, I don't play no games. Moving on to the third one, and the final one, stay away from the carbs. I'm going to be honest with you, I chose this one mainly because it was a Cheddar Bay type biscuit. And I wanted to see what my competition was like out there for this particular recipe and for this particular video. Because I was looking at some of the other ones and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But then when I made mine, I was like, oh yeah, this one's like in the top. So I wanted to see how much better everyone else's was. Okay, so straight off the bat, like looking at this, they did not put enough flour in here. You can see, like, it even feels like baked eggs, which isn't good at all. The feeling is hard. It feels like a baked up egg, I guess you could say. Like, it's just not enough flour in here. When I set them out, they just flatten out on the oven. I mean, flatten out in the oven as soon as I pretty much put it there. Ingredients wise, let's talk about that. We got 4 eggs beaten, 2 cups of shredded cheese, 1 cup of almond flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, black pepper, doesn't say how much, 2 tablespoons of squeezable butter, and 1 tablespoon of finely chopped fresh parsley. Now they wanted you to put the butter on top of the biscuit after it was done, but I didn't need to do that. I mean, not saying it wouldn't help, because I'm sure it would help with flavor. Well, I know it would. I can taste it by itself and know that if the butter was there, you know, it would taste better. Here we go. Let's see what my competition is like. To know for me, dog. All right, so first off, there was no rise because there was too many eggs. The only thing that rose were the eggs. The baking powder is still left inside the dish, and you get it after. It gives a funny taste to it. So like, y'all got it, like when you use baking powder or baking soda, you have to understand not to use too much, because if it's left over, you're going to taste it. It's going to be like, I can't even describe it. Like, that flavor is gonna be in your baking dish. Like, you have to be err on the side of less before you do more. It's very eggy. The texture is eggy in the sense of, like, it tastes like a puffed up cooked egg. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but being a person that loves egg, it makes perfect sense to me. There's not enough flour in here to hold it together. Even the batter, when I was making it, like, it was very, very loose. I was like, this is supposed to be a biscuit. Now the other ones weren't like super firm either, but there was a distinctive difference. Like, it really was. Out of the 3, I'm going to say I have a hard time choosing between 1 and 2. I feel like it's gonna vary from person to person, because both of them had elements that I liked. I liked how buttery Nom Noms was, but this one, I like the simplicity of it. The texture wasn't bad. Depending on the day, I may like one over the other. Are they mind-blowingly amazing? Like, you're gonna eat this and be like, oh my god, this is like the best keto biscuit I've ever had in my life. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. It's hard to compete with things like Smart Bun. Smart Bun just works extremely well, like, and it crumbles. I haven't had any others, but Smart Bun is very good. And I'm actually an affiliate with Smart Bun, so you get 10% off by following me. I'll put that down in the description box below for you guys. There are not many companies that show me love, but out of the 4, out of the top of my head, they are one of them. And they show love after they realize how much I like their product. Like, I didn't reach out to them. I didn't reach out to them first. They actually reached out to me. So I have nothing but love for them. But yeah, I definitely support that company. And the Smart Cakes, I think they're like, man, they might be like 10 or 20 calories a piece. Like, I don't have any more here, but they are, whoa. Like, they're all right. Somebody new to keto, you're probably not gonna like them. But somebody that's been doing it for a while, they would definitely appreciate that Smart Cake, the simplicity and what you can do with it. And just a little tip, if you get a cinnamon roll one, warm it up, and do like a little cream cheese icing on it and thank me later. All right, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna wrap this up and prepare. I'm thinking like zucchini next time. I've never did anything with zucchini, so I'm thinking about like doing like zucchini brownies, maybe see what people do with avocado, to see the hype in it. Like, let me see exactly why they do it. Is it really worth anything? I think I'm gonna go with zucchini next. Zucchini brownies. We're going to see. All right, I'm gonna sign off now. I am Darius. This is Sugarless Crystals, your sugar-free destination of YouTube, and I'm not a chef. No. I'm an entertainer.